Welcome back to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into a word that literally adds physical weight to your sentences. That word is tramp. And yeah, to anchor us right from the jump, it rhymes perfectly with camp. It's a tiny short word, but trust me, it packs a massive, heavy punch. Okay, I want you to imagine the heavy, forceful sound of thick boots just coming down a long, echoing hallway. Thump, thump, thump. Right? It's definitely not a delicate sound. It's not a tiptoe. It's deliberate. It literally vibrates through the floorboards and demands your attention. Before you even see the person rounding the corner, you already know they're coming. That auditory impact, that physical vibration you're picturing in your head right now, that is the absolute core of what we're unpacking today.
So that brings us to a really fascinating sensory question. Can you tell someone's mood just from their steps? I mean, think about it. If someone's sneaking, they're super light on their feet, maybe nervous or cautious. If they're skipping, obviously there's joy. But what about those heavy, rhythmic, descending thumps we just talked about? Well, often, a really forceful step conveys determination, maybe frustration, exhaustion, or just sheer physical power. We actually map human emotion right onto the auditory sounds of movement. Hold on to that connection between sound, physical weight, and human emotion, because it's the secret key to truly mastering our target word today.
Section 1. Meet the word. Say it out loud with me wherever you are. Tramp. Just one crisp, sharp syllable, and it functions seamlessly as both a verb, an action you can physically do, and a noun, representing a thing or a person. Okay, let's dive into this archipelago of meaning. Instead of just one single, rigid definition, tramp is actually a group of closely clustered islands of meaning. They might look a little different on the surface, but beneath the water, they're entirely connected by one central foundational bedrock. And for our word today, that connecting thread is movement on foot, step after step after step.
So let's visit that first island, the concrete verb. To tramp is to walk with forceful, heavy steps, or to hike steadily. Just picture a line of soldiers in heavy gear, steadily moving along a dirt road. They aren't running, right? But they definitely aren't relaxing either. It's this continuous, heavy, rhythmic movement. When you use this word as a verb, you're instantly injecting gravity and force into your sentence. You're basically forcing the listener to hear those footfalls.
And this brilliantly illustrates our three distinct islands of meaning. First, the action, the forceful, heavy walking we just defined. Second, we shift to a noun, the heavy tread itself, or maybe a long walk as an event. And finally, the third island is another noun, but this time referring to a person, a wanderer traveling on foot. So we've got three distinct grammatical uses, three distinct images, yet they are all firmly rooted in the exact same concept of traversing the ground on 2 feet. Let's see exactly how these operate out in the wild.
We heard him tramp angrily through the kitchen. Listen to how the word isolates that heavy, forceful sound in context. The addition of angrily pairs absolutely perfectly here. I mean, you don't tramp happily. Anyone who's ever heard a grumpy teenager stomping upstairs to their room knows exactly what this sounds like. You tramp with purpose, with real weight, and sometimes with sheer frustration. The word does so much heavy lifting, pun totally intended, that you can instantly visualize the scene and hear those heavy boots hitting the linoleum.
Now the scouts went for a long tramp across the hills. Notice what just happened to the grammar here. The meaning naturally shifts into a noun representing the long walk itself. It's an event. It's a thing the scouts did. It still implies that the walk wasn't necessarily some breezy paved park stroll. It was across the hills, it required real effort, it was a steady hike. But here, tramp encapsulates the absolute entirety of that physical journey into one single noun.
The old tramp carried everything he owned in one worn bag. Notice how the exact same letters, the exact same one-syllable sound, create an entirely different image here. We've officially arrived at the Wanderer Noun Island. This describes a person who travels on foot, moving from place to place without a fixed home. The focus isn't just on one single walk anymore. It's on a whole lifestyle defined by constant, steady, heavy walking. It's a really powerful evolution of the word.
Section 2. The word detective. True vocabulary mastery comes from understanding how a word relates to its neighbors. We're going to compare this word to its synonyms and also point out a very close morphological family member, the noun tramper. A tramper is quite literally one who tramps, a person engaged in that heavy walking or hiking. Okay, let's look at the contrasts.
Tramp versus stroll. So the crucial point here is the sheer contrast in energy.
Tramp is forceful and heavy. Stroll is light and easy. If you're writing a story or describing an event, choosing between these two words completely changes the psychology of the scene. You stroll through a botanical garden on a Sunday afternoon with an ice cream cone. You absolutely do not stroll through a muddy trench. And you don't stroll when you're furiously leaving a room. You tramp.
But what about words that are a little closer in meaning, like march, hike, and trudge? Yes, for sure there's a lot of overlap there. They all involve substantial walking. But our target word specifically uniquely stresses the physical heaviness and the resulting noise of those steps. A march implies a highly structured, organized, often military rhythm. A hike specifically implies nature and recreation. A trudge really focuses heavily on the sheer exhaustion and misery of moving through something difficult, like deep snow. But a tramp is all about that noisy, heavy, forceful footprint, no matter where it happens.
Section 3. Try it yourself. Let's move on and see how this builds, because learning a word passively is great, but actively generating your own context, that's what locks it into your long-term memory. It's time to put this into practice.
Can you write one sentence using tramp as a verb and another using it as a noun? Remember our core takeaway today. To tramp is to walk heavily, and a tramp is a wanderer. The meaning shifts, but those heavy footsteps remain. How will you use the weight of those footsteps in your own writing today? I'd love to see what you come up with. Drop your sentences in the comments, and let's see who can create the heaviest impact.